Hey, this is Grow the Leader. My name's Robert. We're grilling Ali, and we have Kaz, obviously, and she's going to start off with the first set of questions.
Thank you, Robert. It's great to have you with us, Ali, and thank you for being willing to do this. So, Ali, your specialist subject for us this week is physics and teaching, because you are a physics teacher, and Robert's going to ask some questions about that later, but I thought I'd just start off with a few kind of random questions for you, just as the wind picks up beautifully, no doubt on the mic as well. So I'm going to start off with a few of your favourites, just to get you warmed up to the whole answering questions. Okay. Good. So Ali, what is your favourite sport?
Rugby.
Good job. League or union?
Do you know, leagues, this is all union, definitely union.
Good choice. Correct answer. Favourite book?
I thought this would come up, don't know. I really enjoyed the first 14 and a half lives of Harry August. It was a few years ago now. I've just finished 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, which I really enjoyed. So it's when I was younger, I really enjoyed A Prayer for Owen Meany, but I reread it. It wasn't the same. If Not Now When by Primo Levi, that's really worth a look if you haven't read it. So reading's great. So I've got lots of books that I really enjoyed. I'm a part of a book club in school with teachers, and that's been excellent as well.
Brilliant. Favorite dinner?
Favorite dinner. I really enjoy all things curry, all things Chinese, but I also enjoy a good steak. Miller and Carter, go out for a steak and various sides, really well done. Nice bottle of wine with some friends. That's also a top. I really like food, so I'm not that fussy, but definitely spice is good.
Cool. Favourite musician?
I like Passenger. That's not a band. He's really good. Brooke Legerwood, or Brooke Fraser. She's great. Brilliant worship leader, great singer-songwriter as well. Always loved Marillion and Rush, and let's go back a long way as well.
Favourite holiday destination?
Went to Mallorca a couple of years ago with the kids. I just torn a muscle in my calf really much I could, but I want to go back and cycle. But also anywhere, I just rose up north of Scotland. Anything that was Scottish country apart from the Midges, that's not so good. But I would say my favourite holidays the last few years have been New Wine down in Somerset, Chip and Mallet. They've been outstanding holidays, but that's more to do with New Wine. But I do enjoy that area as well.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few this or this questions. Okay, at least one of these has been sent in to us as well. So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Too hot or too cold?
Oh, too hot.
Custard or cream?
Both.
Mountains or beach?
Oh, mountains.
Run or cycle?
Oh. It depends. Both, but cycle. Both maybe cycle. Getting too old to run.
Okay, a really important question that somebody has sent in for today, Ali. Question is, how many check shirts do you own?
Many as fat face stock.
Okay, everyone in their previous catalogue, in their back catalogue, brilliant. Which youth team member or youthy would you challenge to a race?
In what form? Scalextrics, cycling?
Just says the question we were asked was which youth team member or youthy would you challenge to a race? You can pick the type of race as well.
I don't know. I'm going to say favour hopping.
There you go. That is the most random answer I think I could have imagined. Brilliant. I think.
Yeah,
I think because that was so random, that's the perfect time to hand you over to Robert, who is going to take us for some more serious questions. So Robert, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Kaz. So I had to come up with some questions, and I need to figure out which one I want to do first. So let's do very basic. How did you become a Christian? Very reasonable.
That's fine. I was raised in the church, and but I became a Christian as far as I remember. Really, there was a Louis Palau crusade. He was an evangelist back in the 1980s. I was 9, and I remember very clearly going forward and trying to get the wee woman. You always got somebody to come and speak to you. At the end, he went forward, and then me and my friend, who was 8, I think, and then trying to get this lady to take us serious to actually come and speak to us. I think she thought we were waiting for her mum and dad. So that was when I initially made a commitment. But it's a series of commitments. I think the commitment you make when you're 9 is not the same as the commitment you make when you're 14 or when you're 16 or when you're 18 and 21, whatever. So it's, I think, I don't know if there is a point you've got to say, okay, Jesus, I want to follow you. But just saying that on a day, a point in time doesn't, I don't know whether it makes you, I'm not sure. Just voicing those words it's like a magic formula, but I think God hears that and takes it for what it is. And I definitely feel that from that point, God's hand was always in my life, but I was aware of God from before that even. That would be the first point, really, I think, when I made a commitment.
Okay, that's a great answer. How long have you been a physics teacher?
24, so it's like 24 years.
Was being a physics teacher your dream job?
No. I think I enjoyed physics at school, and I thought going to university was not really on. It wasn't something my family, nobody in my family went to university. But I thought a lot of my friends at school were going, and so I thought, well, I quite enjoy physics. So I did that. I wasn't a physics teacher. I nearly did engineering, and then when I left school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought it would be medical physics, so repairing MRI scanners and that kind of thing, prosthetics and all sorts. But then I did a DTS with YWAM for a year, and part of the YWAM process is I've talked about this open hands. So you say, God, I get something you're doing anyway, but they're very big on this, give God your whole life. And yeah, I was open to the idea of missions or working on a YWAM base, whatever. I was really open. And I got to the end of the DTS, and I really thought a lot about what was going to do next. And then I just got a sense of I'm going to apply for a teacher training college. I'd worked with kids teaching at college, at uni. I'd done a program at BP, we went into schools and we're trying to get scientists into teaching, and I'd really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed working with young people, particularly teenagers anyway. But also, I just had such a sense of what can I apply for this, but I very much was like, God, if it's not right, close the doors. Absolutely, just shut the doors. I'll deal with that. And at that age, you're 21, 22, you think everything's possible. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go for it and see what happens. But then I got through straight away, got in, and not everybody did. I had the questions at interview. If there'd been different questions, I might not have managed to answer them so well because I didn't know the answers. They asked you physics questions. Thankfully, the one they asked me, I knew the answer to. And then I got to my teaching placements, and I was like, God, if this is wrong, shut it down. Don't let me enjoy it. Don't let me enjoy me. And I was quite, I would say, tougher schools, and I really enjoyed it. And I was lucky, really blessed to have really good people around me, really good teachers, guys who really took me under their wing, and I loved it, just loved it. And it was a real confirmation, and then just doors kept opening, and I think that was a real sign to me that it was something I should stick with. Long answer.
Yeah, that's great. Do your colleagues know that you're a Christian?
I think that's a really good question. I think it comes up with things like street pastors. So say what you do at the weekend, or mention street pastors. Although I've stopped doing street pastors in January. But for 11 years, I've been doing street pastors. So some of them just like mystified as to what the heck it is. I've got a deputy colleague who talks about it a lot. I think he doesn't know what to make of it. Do they know that? They know it's a Christian thing. But in schools, people don't ask you really. It doesn't come up, what do you believe? It's not that kind of environment. It's hard to explain. And it's because it's not really the kind of conversation that happens. They're really intense environments. It's not, people aren't is open to those kind of things. Teachers is less than you think, actually, but they do know a street pastor. So that opens conversations up. But that challenge, that is a good question. I think it's something that how to make your faith known in a way that people want to hear it and they're asking the question. People know don't swear, so that's a weird one. I get a lot of that. A few times people will comment on that, like you know, like as if I've never heard the words, but you know, they notice that. I've had one guy, I'm not gonna, because I wish someone you always work for, but they notice integrity. They do notice that. If you say you're going to do it, and particularly in leadership, if you say you're going to do it, you need to do it, unless circumstances change and you're honest about it. So look, what we thought was going to happen is a bad idea. What we said we're going to do is a bad idea. We're not doing that for these reasons. And I think people notice that. I've had comments about that, especially when I was doing the deputy job. Yeah, I think they know, but I would like to have more opportunity. But that's something I need to pray into.
Great. Oh, I've lost this. Oh no. Oh, how does your faith and your work coexist? Because some people put faith and science against each other. How do you feel like they work with each other?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I think I'm not going to come as a scientist. Scientists make papers and invent things, but as a science teacher, it's something you have to think about a lot, and you have to kind of put some work into those arguments. So I've read God's Undertaker, and I've go to quite a lot of apologetics things, and Zacharias and all those kind of things. And I think for me, it's the interpretation of Christianity that Dawkins would use, or these secular sort of evangelical atheists would use, is not the Christianity that we would recognise. So what they do is they pick an extreme voice, and how many billion Christians are there? 2 billion? I'm not sure about. People who say they're Christians, you're going to find an extreme voice, and they say that characterises all Christian thought, and then they set up this straw man for what Christians think, and then pillar it. I think we've got to look carefully at what the Bible says and who the Bible. Every book's like a letter, so who's it written to? What the context of the people? I don't mean denying truth. I've got to be very careful we don't deny who Jesus was, that God is sovereign, that the kingdom of heaven is real, miracles happen, there's mystery, but it's also not a science textbook. So it's trying to get the big challenge is, say, creation. I think as a physics graduate and as a person who teaches astronomy, it's not easy to go for the 6 days, and I did hold that when I was younger. I think when I was very young, I really argued for that. Now, I'm not sure that the Bible says that really we're meant to take it that way, but I think that whatever happens, we can say God clearly made it happen. I have no problem with the theory of gravity. I know gravity is how stars are made. No problem. Who made gravity? Who made gravity happen? The Lord, God created that, made it happen. He set the rules of nature are set up by the Lord. So I think that it's there's no reason to have that difference. But when it comes to certain aspects of, say, evolution, we have to have some really quite thought through things to say. And I think it's important that if we're going to talk about evolution and talk about creationism, we have to have done some reading. I think you can't just watch one YouTube video and think, I've got it. You've got to be careful. We know what we're talking about, whether it be a youth group or talking to our friends. I think one thing is really a good line is to say, science says how it happened. Jesus says why it happened. And I think that's a really important distinction. It's the science is mechanics. It's not the why, and that's a really clear. Even if you can't have anything else to say, you don't have to answer every question. I don't think for a second scientists have it sussed. They don't. And atheism leaves people empty. It gives them nothing. It just, there's no heart to it really. And there's a lot of really brilliant people about it, but it doesn't doesn't give a meaning to people's lives. And that's not a reason why you just accept Jesus. So you accept Jesus, it's true, he's true, and Christianity is, is real. But that's a long answer to a short question. Thanks. I'll stop there.
Is there anything in science or physics that strengthens your faith?
I think what a lot of Christians and atheists or secularists, science would share, is that wonder, that sense of wonder. I think the more you appreciate the mystery of how creation is here, like there's a really good book called Six Numbers by Martin Rees, who's Astronomer Royal, and there's these six, and there's more than six actually, but the sixth force of nature, like the strong force, that's the force that holds nuclei together. There's electromagnetic forces that hold electrons to protons. There's Planck's constant. I'm not too much science, but there's a lot of these numbers that are just perfect.
Yeah.
And it's not just, they have to be perfect together or you don't get a universe. Gravity's a tiny bit stronger, then the Big Bang happens, it all just comes together again. Gravity's a bit weaker, it all just dissipates and disappears and goes. It's a really good program by Brian Cox. He's quite anti-faith, but he says a lot of good science, you know, and he talks about how the only period of time, the period of time where the universe will exist for a certain amount of time, right? Say it's 100% life universe, there's only 1 times 10 to the minus 80 of a percent, and that's a tiny number. Like there's a 0 point with 7 to 9 zeros, then 1 with a wee percentage sign. So only that's the amount of time within the universe's lifespan where it will basically begin to end, where life can happen. That's right now. And then the chances of you, absolutely, it's just a miracle that you are here, that we can exist in this world. So I think that sense of amazing that we are here, the wonder of that, the improbability of life existing, and us having an intelligence that can try and ask these hard questions, can think, why are we here? What's the purpose of this? Monkeys don't ask that question. My cat just jumped in the window here, doesn't ask that question. And it's the complexity that you are. And I say it to kids a lot, they think I'm daft, and you are a miracle, you are amazing, and don't ever doubt that, because it's so, to me, that's got creator's hand all over it, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a really good answer. My one always is energy cannot be created or destroyed. Then how did the Big Bang happen? There must be something before that made it happen to then start all this.
People don't know. Scientists just don't know. Find really hard to find out.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting theories, but yeah, Robert, we don't know. But the thing that really helped me was that we don't think of God as God of the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't. What's important is not to look at the things that are missing in science and say, "Oh, therefore God must exist." Because guess what happens? The scientists figure out how it happened, and then they say, "Ha, well, that's why it can't be God." And I think any scientific discovery that's made should just make a discussion go, "That's amazing. God is amazing that He's done that. Look at how complex that is." And love and enjoy the science, embrace the science. Don't see it as a threat, and don't. Anything we don't understand doesn't prove that God exists. Yeah. It just means we don't understand it yet. And just because we do understand it, it just shows more of the glory of creation to me, rather than it's not a threat to us really. Not that you're saying that, but it's just it helped me look at it in a different way.
Who is your favourite scientist?
Oh, I read this question. That's a hard question. I think I'm going to give 2 answers. Einstein just transformed the way we view the world, and it made a massive impact in how we do understand the nature of things. But I would say also Nikola Tesla was absolutely barking mad, but he just developed AC motors, he developed radio signals, he was just a creative genius who was has a really interesting life if you look at that, and a lot of his understanding he developed are still using. But those 2 guys were just really the heavyweights. But Einstein was an absolute undoubted heavyweight. And the whole thing, general relativity and quantum mechanics and Planck's constant and nature of light and with particle duality, so don't have physics, you'll know all about that, really shook the world, actually, genuinely, you know, and you might not think it if you're walking about your day to day, but it did change the world, actually, what he discovered. But so the same with Tesla. But Tesla was just, if you look at his life story, it's fascinating. But he had a hand in so many inventions that we just take for granted now, including robotics, actually.
What is your favourite phenomenon in physics?
I think phenomenon would be, I think the gold leaf litoscope experiment. I'm just talking about experiment. We could do it in class, but what it demonstrates is it was the kind of birthplace of what's called quantum mechanics, quantum theory, which is that the quantization of light, the light's a packet of energy, not a continuous wave, which is, that's very nice. But it was the basic, that understanding led to the understanding nature of the atom, lasers, and quantum mechanics is how you get computer chips. So I think the fact that you can think of how we discovered that light wasn't just a wave, it was a particle, was one of Einstein's things as well. But that's really a powerful experiment.
Mm-hmm. If you could ask God one question about physics and the nature of reality, what would it be?
Was that on the list? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is
the
the biggest question on the list.
God, about the nature of reality.
Yeah. Not even my question. My dad was like, "Oh, you should ask Ali this."
Okay, James.
I
think. Oh, I think off the top of my head, why is gravity so weak compared to other natural forces? If you're going to ask God anything, I'm not going to start with that, right? Because we're purely talking about science. That's a science question. Why is gravity so much weaker? As you mentioned, how did the Big Bang happen? What is dark energy? What's dark matter? We can't find 95% of the mass of the universe. Know what it is, can't detect it. I think that's a few. If I could answer those, if I could find dark matter, if I could answer the dark matter, I'd get a Nobel Prize tomorrow. Dark energy, another one. Dark energy makes galaxies are accelerating apart. The universe isn't just expanding, it's accelerating apart, and we don't know why. So they invented an energy called dark energy to explain that, which is basically means we don't know what it is, but it's happening. And yeah, Big Bang, where did that come from? What happened? And why is gravity?
There's a reason why it's called dark energy, is there? It just sounds cool.
Dark, we can't see, we don't know. Darkest night will say that we made it up energy or we made it up matter. Dark just means, don't know. And I love that actually, but yeah, where's that and what's going on there?
So you just gave it the coolest name because you don't know what it is.
Honestly, so if you look at our galaxy, the Milky Way, if you look at the physics lesson, if you look at the outer stars, when you hit a swing ball, the ball goes round in a swing because the string holds the ball in a circle, right? That's easy. Hit it too hard, the string breaks, and off goes the ball. The outer stars in our galaxy are going far too quickly. There's not enough force from the gravity of the other stuff in the galaxy to make them go in that circle. And that's true for every single star in every single galaxy. They're going too fast, and we can't find the matter that would give you the gravity that would make them stay in the circle. So we don't understand it, and scientists can't find it, and we can't detect it. And so that's CERN is basically about to get rebuilt to try and find dark matter to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
CERN's
yeah. Do you want to continue?
No, you're right. Go on.
Okay. If you could give yourself one piece of advice when you're 16, what would it be?
I think I would say trust God that it's going to be all right. You know, trust. There's a temptation at that age to kind of try and seize control, not just at that age, but that kind of age between 16, 20. You know, I'll just do it myself, thanks. And it's not easy. I would say sometimes relationships are weird and you're trying to find out who you are, but I think I would say trust, it'll be okay. Hang in there, trust God. He really does have your back, and you know, stay with him. Even though it might look like things are not working out as you hoped, hang in there. It's the right path. And I would say as well, work harder. Mm-hmm. Definitely say work harder. I learned to work hard when I started teaching, because if you don't work hard, the kids go nuts and you have a mental class in your hands, so you've got to work hard. And that was when I learned to work hard, and it was a really good lesson for me, but I wish I'd learned it earlier. So rather than just sailing through and doing what I could and doing okay, but not really going for it, I think I would say work hard. And the last thing I would say is believe in yourself more. It's easy when you're 16 to kind of, I think maybe, I know there's universal, but to be able to doubt yourself a bit and wonder, are you going to be good enough? Can you do it? Can you hack life? And actually looking back and having worked with young people for years now and thinking back to what I was, I think, you know, like, maybe believe yourself a bit more. Everybody goes through stuff in life. Everybody has something. We don't all have ideal starts. Maybe some people got a lovely background, but you don't know what's going on inside their hearts. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. And sometimes that stuff can have an impact, and it starts to come out. Maybe when you're 6, as you're older, it can hang on there, you know. But and try new things, you know. Be confident. It's going to be fine. Maybe just back yourself a bit more.
Well, that's all the questions I have, actually.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I've learned some physics stuff as well. Physics was not my strong subject at school. So I think I joked with Ali earlier that all my physics knowledge comes from the Big Bang Theory. So that is the level of where I'm at. Yeah, but I want to say a huge thank you to Ali and a huge thank you to Robert as well. Great questions, Robert. Great to hear from you, Ali, and hear more about your story, and also understand a little bit more of the science as well. We'll be back next week with another Gorilla Leader, so subscribe, and we'll see you later.